Welcome and thank you for joining us. You are watching Millennium News Hour and I am Tanziba Naureen. Today we have brought up and trending news from across the nation and the world. Let's begin with the headlines. Biden says Trump won't accept 2024 election results. Stormy Daniels spurs with Trump's lawyer during Hush Money trial testimony. US says Rafah offensive would jeopardize ceasefire talks as Biden threatens to halt more Israel aid. US House blocks bid to remove Speaker Mike Johnson. Air Force airman killed by Florida deputies who were at a wrong apartment, attorney says. Storms kill at least 3 in the southeast as severe weather is set to continue. Israel fumes as Biden signals a hurdle line against a Rafah ground assault. Putin warns of global clash as Russia marks victory in World War II. Rat parts found in Japanese sliced white bread. Gunmen kill 7 Berbers in Pakistan's volatile Balochistan province. Passengers and crews safely evacuated after Boeing 737 plane's tire burst during landing in Turkey. And Rafael Nadal shows he is not quite ready for retirement in a comeback win at the Italian Open. You are listening to Headlines Now News in detail. President Joe Biden said Wednesday that former President Donald Trump would not accept the outcome of the 2024 election. He may not accept the outcome of the election. I promise you he won't, Biden said in an interview on CNN, adding that it was dangerous. Biden was responding to a question about Trump's remarks last week in an interview with the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. If everything's honest, I will gladly accept the results. I don't change on that. If it's not, you have to fight for the right of the country, Trump said. Biden said about his rival Wednesday, the guy is not a Democrat with a small d. Biden's campaign and the White House have previously responded to Trump's statement, and Biden has previously laid into Trump for election denialism, painting him as a threat to democracy. His assertion Wednesday directly predicted how Trump might behave in November. Biden campaign spokesperson James Singer said in a statement last week about Trump's comments to the Journal Sentinel, "Bottom line, Trump is a danger to the Constitution and a threat to our democracy." Donald Trump's Hush Money trial had resumed Thursday with Stormy Daniels concluding her testimony. Daniels' testimony was a build-up to the prosecution's star witness Michael Cohen, who arranged the $130,000 payment to Daniels and later went to prison for orchestrating the payments and other charges. Stormy Daniels returned to the stand in Donald Trump's criminal trial Thursday, pushing back during cross-examination on his defense attorney's attempts to discredit her in sometimes bizarre and uncomfortable exchanges. Trump's attorney Susan Nicholas grilled Daniels about the $130,000 non-disclosure agreement she signed with Trump's then-attorney Michael Cohen near the close of the 2016 election and tried to poke holes in her now sworn statements about the sexual encounter she says she had with Trump, which he denies. Nicholas asked her about the number of porn films she has written and directed and said, "You have a lot of experience making funny stories about sex." "Wow, that's not how I would put it," Daniels replied. "The sex in the films is very much real, just like what happened to me in that room with Trump." She added, "If that story was untrue, I would have written it to be a lot better." Nicholas and Daniels spurred over minor inconsistencies in her stories, including saying in a 2011 interview that Daniels and Trump had dinner together, while she now maintains they never actually ate. The United States warned on Thursday that Israel will be dealing a strategic victory to Hamas if it carries out plans for an all-out assault on Rafah, the militants' last major stronghold in Gaza. The warnings was backed by a new threat from President Joe Biden. He says he will pause more offensive military assistance to Israel if it goes through with the operation in a city where more than 1 million civilians are sheltering. Biden last week put on hold a shipment of large bombs to Israel over concerns the weapons are of the type that has caused significant civilian casualties in Gaza and would almost certainly do more such damage if Israel conducted a major offensive in Rafah. On Wednesday, he held out the possibility of holding up future shipments of bomb guidance kits and artillery to Israel in hopes the threat would turn Israel back from an operation in the city. The pronouncements are part of a last-ditch push for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his far-right government to rethink their public commitments to invade the city in an effort to eradicate. The U.S. believes such a move would result in significant civilian casualties and exacerbate an already dire humanitarian crisis in Gaza. The United States House of Representatives has voted overwhelmingly to defeat an effort by Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene to remove Speaker Mike Johnson, a fellow Republican. In an unusual move, Democrats joined Republicans in a 359-43 vote on Wednesday to keep Johnson in his leadership role and stave off further turmoil in the House. "I appreciate the show of confidence from my colleagues to defeat this misguided effort," Johnson said following the vote. "Hopefully, this is the end of the character assassination that has characterized the current Congress." Hardline Representative Greene has, for weeks, sought to get Johnson kicked out after a string of compromises he made with Democrats over a $95 billion bill for security assistance to U.S. allies Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. Greene is a leading voice of the far-right flank opposed to helping Ukraine. After the House passed the bill in April, she called Johnson a lame duck. Johnson's leadership was pathetic, weak, and unacceptable, Greene said on Wednesday as she triggered the motion to vacate measure. The same procedure was used to remove former Republican Speaker Kevin McCarthy in October, the first time in U.S. history that the House voted to remove its leader. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your fist. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. An Air Force airman who was fatally shot at his Okaloosa County, Florida apartment Friday was killed by a deputy after law enforcement burst into the wrong home, civil rights attorney Ben Crump said Wednesday. A woman said that she was on a FaceTime video call with senior airman Roger Fortson when he was killed and that he was alone and there was no disturbance, which law enforcement said was the reason for the call. Crump said. The Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office said that Friday afternoon, our deputy responded to a call of a disturbance in progress where he encountered an armed man and the deputy shot him. According to the woman on the FaceTime call, whom Crump did not identify, Fortson heard a knock at his door, asked who is it, got no response and could not see anyone through the peephole, Crump said in a statement. There was a second aggressive knock, Crump said, citing the woman's account. Concerned, he did what any other law-abiding citizen would do and retrieved his legally owned gun, but as he was walking back to the living room, police burst through the door. When they saw the gun, they shot Roger 6 times, Crump said in the statement. The witness has said that she saw Roger on the ground stating, "I can't breathe," after he was shot, Crump said. She has also said the police were in the wrong apartment as there was no disturbance in the apartment and he was alone. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement said it is investigating the shooting at the request of the Sheriff's Department. It did not provide any additional information, citing the active investigation. Severe weather that has claimed the lives of at least 3 people in the last 24 hours and destroyed homes across the South is set to continue as forecasters warn of thunderstorms, flash flooding, and possible tornadoes Thursday and into Friday. More than 200,000 customers were without power across Tennessee, the Carolinas, and Georgia as of 8 a.m. ET Thursday. There were more than 360 storm reports Wednesday, which was the 5th day this year to have more than 100 tornado reports. One person was confirmed dead in Columbia, Tennessee, in a suspected tornado Wednesday as devastating winds brought down trees and power lines. Elsewhere, Bryce Edward Hentnick, 22 years old, died when a tree fell onto his car in Claiborne County, north of Knoxville. The same hazard killed an unidentified person in Gaston County, North Carolina, west of Charlotte, when a tree fell, trapping 2 people inside their car. Now it's time for global updates. Israel reacted with a mix of concern and fury Thursday to President Joe Biden's warning that he would cut off weapons to the U.S. allies' military if it moves forward with a full-scale assault on Rafah, the city in southern Gaza where more than 1 million Palestinians are sheltering. The threat, which marked a shift in Washington's public approach to the war, came after the Biden administration halted a shipment of bombs last week amid concerns over Israel's plans to invade Rafah, even as ceasefire talks continue with Hamas. The U.S. has long supplied weapons to Israel, and Biden's warning follows months of growing tensions between the two countries and as the president faces domestic pressure to take a harder line on the war. Israeli officials appeared in little doubt that the fallout could have far-reaching consequences. The country's ambassador to the United Nations, Gilad Erdan, said the U.S. pause was a very disappointing decision, even frustrating. He suggested in an interview with Israeli channel 12 TV News that the move stemmed from pressure Biden felt from both Congress and U.S. college campus protests. Russian President Vladimir Putin accused the West on Thursday of risking a global conflict and said no one would be allowed to threaten the world's biggest nuclear power as Russia marked the Soviet Union's victory over Nazi Germany in World War II. As Russian troops advance against Ukraine's Western-backed forces, Putin accused arrogant Western elites of forgetting the decisive role played by the Soviet Union in defeating Nazi Germany and of stoking conflicts across the world. We know what the exorbitance of such ambitions leads to. Russia will do everything to prevent a global clash, Putin said on Red Square after Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu reviewed troops lined up in a rare May blizzard. But at the same time, we will not allow anyone to threaten us. Our strategic forces are always in a state of combat readiness. Putin, who sent his army into Ukraine in 2022, casts the war as part of a struggle with the West, which he says humiliated Russia after the Berlin Wall fell in 1989 by encroaching on what he considers Moscow's sphere of influence. A popular brand of sliced white bread is being recalled in Japan after some loaves were found to inadvertently contain rat purrs. Pasco Shikishima Corporation, a major food supplier based in Nagawa, said it was recalling 104,000 packs of its Pasco bread from 15 prefectures after parts of what appeared to be a small animal were found in a batch of super-fermented Chojuku bread produced at a factory west of Tokyo. The company said that while the recall of the contaminated products had been completed, as a precaution it was also recalling other items produced on the same line and that the line will be suspended for the time being to investigate the cause and to strengthen countermeasures. A company representative confirmed Thursday that the contamination came from a small black rat. We deeply apologize for the serious inconvenience and trouble this has caused to our customers, suppliers, and other concerned parties, the company said in its statement Tuesday, adding that there had been no reports of consumers falling ill. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feast. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. You are watching latest global updates. Attackers fatally shot 7 Berbers before dawn Thursday in a home in a volatile province in southwestern Pakistan, police and government officials said. The killings occurred near the port city of Ghadar in Balochistan province, police official Mohsin Ali said. All of the Berbers were from Punjab province and lived and worked together. Provincial Interior Minister Ziaullah Lengal condemned the killings and said police were investigating who was behind the attack. There was no immediate claim of responsibility. Separatists in Balochistan have often killed workers and others from Punjab as part of a campaign to force them to leave the province, which for years has experienced a low-level insurgency by the Balochistan Liberation Army and other groups demanding independence from the central government in Islamabad. Islamic militants also have a presence in the province. The government says it has quelled the separatist insurgency, but violence in the province has persisted. A total of 190 people were safely evacuated from a plane in Turkey on Thursday after one of its tires burst during landing at a southern airport. Turkey's Transportation Ministry said no one was hurt. The Boeing 737-800 belonging to Turkey-based Corendon Airlines stopped safely on the runway after landing at Gazipaşa Airport near the Mediterranean coastal town of Alanya, the company said. The plane, which carried 184 passengers and 6 crew members, was on a flight from Cologne, Germany. Corendon Airlines denied Turkish media reports that the aircraft had landed on its nose. Turkey's Transport and Infrastructure Ministry reported damage to the plane's front gear but did not provide details. The runway was not damaged, but flights were diverted to the nearby Antalya Airport while the aircraft was being removed. It was the second incident at a Turkish airport in as many days. On Wednesday, a Boeing 767 cargo aircraft belonging to FedEx Express made an emergency landing at Istanbul Airport after its front landing gear failed. No one was injured and the crew safely evacuated the aircraft. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feast. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Now it's time for business news. Today's New York stock close price is 18,127.21. The NYSE Composite is increased by 131.18 points or 0.73%. Tokyo stock close price is 38,073.98. The Nikkei 225 index is decreased by 128.39 points or 0.34%. Shanghai stock close price is 3,154.32. The Shanghai index is increased by 25.84 points or 0.83%. Hong Kong stock close price is 18,537.81. The Hang Seng index is increased by 223.95 points or 1.22%. Bombay stock close price is 72,404.17. The Sensex index is decreased by 1,062.22 points or 1.45%. Let's have a look on today's sports story. For a brief stretch on Thursday, Rafael Nadal looked every bit of a very 37-year-old player nearing retirement, struggling to produce pace off both sides with his ground strokes, committing an uncharacteristically high number of unforced errors and unable to stay in rallies. Nadal dropped the first set of his first-round match at the Italian Open against Belgian qualifier Zizou Bergs. Then the fist-pumping, virtually unbeatable on clay, 22-time Grand Slam champion version of Nadal emerged, and the Spaniard rallied for a 4-6, 6-3, 6-4 victory before an adoring crowd in what will likely be his final tournament at the Foro Italico. Nadal was playing only his 10th match this year after missing nearly all of 2023 with a hip injury that required surgery. He is hoping to be competitive one last time at the French Open, where he is the record 14-time champion. Rome, where he is a record 10-time champion, is Nadal's last big warm-up tournament before Roland Garros starts on May 26. Let's have a look on today's weather forecast. Before finishing today's news, let's hear out the headlines again. Biden says Trump won't accept 2024 election results. Stormy Daniels spurs with Trump's lawyer during hush money trial testimony. US says Rafah offensive would jeopardize ceasefire talks as Biden threatens to halt more Israel aid. US House blocks bid to remove Speaker Mike Johnson. Air Force airman killed by Florida deputies who were at a wrong apartment, attorney says. Storms kill at least 3 in the southeast as severe weather is set to continue. Israel fumes as Biden signals a hurdle line against a Rafah ground assault. Putin warns of global clash as Russia marks victory in World War II. Rat parts found in Japanese sliced white bread. Gunmen kill 7 Berbers in Pakistan's volatile Balochistan province. Passengers and crews safely evacuated after Boeing 737 plane's tire burst during landing in Turkey. And Rafael Nadal shows he is not quite ready for retirement in a comeback win at the Italian Open. That's all for today. Keep watching Millennium News Hour for latest news update. To stay updated, like our Facebook page, subscribe our YouTube channel and visit our website. Our website address is www.millenniumnews24.com. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with the Sky Network, Worldwide Jadoo TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all the latest news worldwide. Thank you.